A big hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and the fourth episode in our Origin series. In today's episode we are going to take a look at the next stage of researching your family history and take a deep dive into birth, marriage and death records. We will take a look at newspaper records and military historical records from World War I and World War II. These are all relevant for the last 100 years and will help build on your foundation research that was covered in episode 3. You can take a look at that video via the link above and written into the description of this video. This video will be perfect for beginners, seasonal researchers and the more experienced. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. We are going to start with birth, marriage and death records, or as it is commonly abbreviated to, BMDs. These are civil registration records, and in the United Kingdom they were introduced nationwide in 1837. They were not made compulsory until 1875. This being said, the vast majority were registered, and only one of my ancestors, who was born in 1874, is missing a birth certificate. Although luckily I was able to bridge that gap, as my grandfather had a copy of her original baptism record. So if you find a BMD record missing, then you can check the parish records. Here in England, BMDs are registered in a local register office, and a copy of each entry is sent to the General Registration Office. It's easy to obtain copies, and this can be done online. In Scotland, they are held with the National Records of Scotland. The USA is a bit more difficult, as each territory or state introduced these records at different times between 1900 and 1946, I think. You can search the indexes online, and Ancestry, for instance, includes data for England and Wales birth, marriage and death indexes between 1837 to 2005. Find My Past has births indexed right up until 2006. Marriages to 2005 and deaths to 2007. Although one of my favourites and very easy to use, plus it's free, is the website FreeBMD. I actually remember when the site started and watched it grow to the complete site it is today. The search function is easy to use. You can add a date range, you can search all districts or a specific district, search all counties or a specific county. Once you have located the correct index, you will need to make a reference of the page and volume number, the year the event was registered, including which quarter of that year it occurred, full name, district and county. The information is necessary for when you order a complete record via the General Registration Office. How do you know that you have identified the correct person? This part of your research is a little more difficult, and common surnames are going to cause you problems, but you can look at ordering records in different ways to help identify more records. A marriage record will include the father's name for both the groom and bride, unless illegitimate. Sometimes the name is recorded nevertheless, and often with a note added to indicate illegitimacy. On later marriage records, an age at time of marriage is included. Other information to look out for on marriage certificates include whether the spouses are bachelor, spinster, widow or widower. Occupations are also included, and marriage witnesses usually are listed on the bottom right hand side of the document. These can often reveal other family members, so do check those out when ordering and viewing any marriage certificate. All of this information will help identify the birth. A death certificate will include the age of death and occupation. Birth certificates would include the parents unless illegitimate. It's relatively uncommon to find a father added if a birth was illegitimate. Modern birth records nearly always record both. Birth certificates will also include the mother's maiden name. This is vital information for when you search for the child's parents' marriage. Before you do this, try and identify if any more siblings exist first, as this will give you a close approximate marriage in relation to the eldest child. In regard to death records, watch out for changes in name, especially for women, as they may have remarried if they were widowed. Human errors can also exist, and it's not uncommon to find a misspelled name, surname or Christian name, especially if it's phonetically similar to another word. In my experience, I have found most mistakes, if any, are on death certificates, as sadly the real living person is not there to correct that error, and not all records of death are registered by close family. Very often it is a friend or a person in authority, as the responsibility of doing this can sometimes weigh too heavy on loved ones. I have found one such case with my 2 times great-grandmother, Hannah Maud Mabel James. It took many months to find her record of death, as her surname was misspelled James, and her Christian name also included errors. A mistake also exists on my grandfather's death certificate. His place of birth is recorded and spelt completely wrong. It's very likely that you will run into problems when ordering BMDs, and sadly, if you do order the wrong document, they are not returnable, and they are not very cheap either. Here in the UK, the cost currently stands at £11, and you will need to pay an additional £3 if you don't know the GRO index reference number, which is page, volume number, year and quarter. It will cost £35 if you want next day delivery. Currently, the normal waiting time is around 15 working days after you order. When I first began researching 25 years ago, the cost was £7 from the GRO and £3 if ordered at a local register office. So the cost of research has certainly increased a lot over the years. However, we now have the option to order digital PDF copies of BMD records that are older than 100 years, and these cost £7, which might be a better option if you're unsure if you're ordering the correct documents, or if you're going to be ordering vast amounts of them. Don't be deterred if you do order incorrect records. Sometimes you have no choice if there are too many similarities between people. I have ordered more than my fair share of wrong documents in the last 25 years. In fact, I have kept them all in a separate envelope in case they prove worthy or connect to a cousin. Our next topic to look at in this video is newspaper records like obituaries and events which your family members may have been recorded alongside. Here in the UK, your go-to site will be the British Newspaper Archive, which is managed by the British Library. In total, this site holds 45 million newspaper pages dating back as far as 1700. They are updated constantly too, so it's always worthwhile to check this site frequently. The site is subscription based, but you get a choice of monthly, free monthly or yearly, which gives the consumer a lot more flexibility. I dislike sites which offer only yearly subscriptions, as it's daylight robbery. But anyway, the newspaper archive is a wonderful tool to search, as births, marriages and deaths are often recorded in local newspapers and obituaries too, which will offer an incredible insight into your ancestors' life. You may even uncover a few skeletons in your tree too, which your family have done all they can to forget about. The final area we are going to look at in this video is military records, but those relating to World War I and World War II. I have included this in today's video as it incorporates the last 100 years, and this relates to the early groundwork of your research before moving on to more deeper subjects that will take your family history further into time. There are plenty of sites available out there that will help with the research of your World War I and World War II family members. Some of these are free, and that includes the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, which lists all veterans that fell in the Great Wars. They often list parent details and spouses too, and where their commemoration or memorial is located. Other go-to sites include Forces War Records, Ancestry and Find My Past. They are all worth checking, as many may hold different records. These three are all subscription based. Ancestry holds pension records, service records, medal cards and lots more. Forces War Records holds British Army daily reports, missing, dead, wounded and PODs from World War I, British officer prisoners of war held in Germany in World War I, prisoner of war records, British and Imperial prisoners held by Germany in World War I, and Shot at Dawn records. And Find My Past includes service records and medal records and so on. You will find a lot of crossovers between some of these sites, but they all seem to hold a few exclusive records too, so all these sites are worth a look if you're interested in researching your military family history. You can delve deeper too and download copies of regimental war diaries from the National Archives, and these cost £3.50 for each PDF download, which I think is great value for money when you consider the wealth of information you will discover written in these diaries. You can even check the newspapers for information on fallen soldiers and even order a death certificate. So all three of these topics covered in this video relate to each other nicely. Everything mentioned in this video will be provided as links in the description of this video, and a full post will be published on my website too. Next week will be the 5th video in this series, and we will be taking a look at how to use genetic DNA as a tool for furthering your research. We will take a look at some of the kits available and what they can offer you. At the end of this video, I'm going to show a selection of images from my own personal archives. These include newspaper cuttings, birth, marriage and death records, and records from World War I. So please enjoy that short presentation. Until next time, I would like to thank you kindly for watching. Take care, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now. and thank you again. Bye everybody.